Nerdcore could rise up. It could get elevated. Nerdcore could rise up. It could get elevated. Nerdcore used to be just a made-up word. MCs tried to
recording. Welcome to Foosball. We're in the stadium. Anyone?
In the stadium, yeah.
You can tell Kyle and I don't know what the fuck's going
Stadium
on.
Arcadium. Well, I
Stadium
thought you were
Arcadium.
like, are you announcing the very first Super Bowl ever on the radio?
It
So
was.
Yeah, okay.
It's the very first Nerd Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess this would be the second.
Welcome to the second Nerd Bowl.
Second Nerd Bowl. Well,
Second annual.
second annual. So
Yes.
what we're going to do is welcome to Every Man's Guide to Nerddom, where we're 230 to 40-something-year-olds who talk about pretty much whatever we want. I'm Chris.
And I'm Kyle. And if you guys would like to be a part of the community, join in on the fun things like we're going to be doing tonight, join the Discord. Links in the show notes down below. Discord's free. There are so many categories that I can't keep up with all of them. So there's discussions happening everywhere, totally unmonitored and unfiltered, apparently, because I'm not looking at all of them right now. So join that, join the community, find other nerds in our group to talk with about whatever you want to talk with or about. We've got categories on anime, comics, movies, beer, ball sports. What else we got? We're going to have a giveaway channel.
Let's specify ball sports like actual athletic sports.
There's also that. And just anything.
Not kink shaming.
We don't want to, limit people's options.
No, they're out there. We're here for it. Chof. But there's lots of conversation happening, so hop in that. Also, if you want to see us live and in person, me and Chris, and a lot of times Doc down there, who's joined us today, stream every Friday and Saturday night, doing Freaky Friday, Spooky Saturday, themed games, community games, horror games, watching Chris get scared. It's a lot of good stuff. So you guys should check that out. See Chris over there on Twitch, Guyver Unit 01, GUIVERUNT 01. I stream under KSIG when I have time, K_SIG. And then one of our guests down there, Mr. Doc BioHazard, also streams. Throw out your handle, Doc.
It's Dr. BioHazard 1 at Twitch.
Nice. So you guys check that out.
So today we've got two things. First thing we're going to do is we have a community drawing. So what we're going to do is we're giving away a Batman Funko with comic. It's pretty cool. Pretty damn cool looking.
Mm-hmm.
The requirements were follow us on Instagram and Facebook, which I'm not held to because some people don't have either, which I totally get. You want to be disconnected from social media because it is evil. Let's face it. It's toxic.
It can be evil.
But in a good way, it's good. That's how we get out to you all. And then you have to tell us your favorite memory from an episode, favorite point. So we have everyone up on a drawing. We're going to spin the wheel of misfortune.
Mm-hmm.
And can you all see that?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So Kyle, give me the, tell me when to spin.
Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Go.
The suspense is killing me.
Suspense.
We got sound effects.
Is killing me.
Yay!
Oh, he's gonna be so happy.
Props.
Doc is so
Good
sad.
job, man.
Oh,
Doc is so sad.
It's okay. It's okay.
Blasted props.
So props. Congratulations. You won the Funko.
Props if you're listening. I will do anything, and I mean anything.
And he means anything.
He's winking for those that aren't watching.
You guys
So
are in the
Doc-
same time zone, so you can make that
So,
happen.
That's
Doc,
true.
I haven't sent it yet. So if you want to message him, actually, I'm going to message him that he won here real quick. And then you can message him that you will tickle the ivories for this. I just need to know where to send it.
Well,
I
you
just
can
need
send
to
it to me, and then I can just take care of the other part because, same time zone.
Yes, that's true too. So today we are having the second annual EGTN Fantasy Football League. I can't apparently say it in one sentence. But we have renamed it in honor of our fallen buddy. Good friend of mine, friend of the show. Justin worked with him. Mr. Stephen Tyler English, who we lost to COVID this past year. Before his 30th birthday would have been in June. So in honor of Stephen, who was a big part of our community, played last year, Justin wanted to name it after him, which was a great idea. And so that's what we're doing. With that, do you guys have anything Kyle or Doc, anything that you guys want to say before Justin gets going?
We've got about 30 seconds before the draft starts, just to let you know.
Nope, I got nothing.
Nope.
Okay, Justin, take it away.
All right, welcome
I'm
everyone.
Hit mute here.
We are going to go through a live draft, and we have some people drafting live on the site. So we have the four of us that are going to be drafting live. So as it's going through, we're going to talk about the drafts that we're picking, looking at teams, and going through and doing that. Every draft pick is going to be about 30 seconds, so we don't have a 6-hour podcast, but it's starting right now. So, wow, nice. That was fun. All right, so
that was actually really impressive.
That was really good. I like that.
Well, thank you. So we have Shoe Bills, and I don't have the name with that. That has first pick. As it goes, we're going to do a snake draft. So if you're the first pick, it goes 1 through 12, then 12 through 1, then 1 through 12, 12 through 1. So the first pick was Jonathan Taylor. Yeah. So that's been pretty much the first pick everywhere else. Second pick went to a quarterback, and that's interesting. It was Aaron Rodgers. And so actually that's Doctor's team,
First
right?
pick, yep.
All right. So why go with a quarterback first?
Well, I've only done a fantasy once in my life, and I never, and I was that guy that everyone hates, that never touched it for this entire season. And so I just kind of went just what was in order. So that's what I thought we were doing, but I don't know, just kind of.
Oh no, there's really no wrong way to go through, and if there's a certain player that you really want, then that's what you want to go for, because you're not guaranteed to have that draft pick. So our third pick is Derrick Henry, that went to Team Downham. So he is now the proud owner of Derrick Henry. And up next, we have Cooper Kupp, that went to 8 equals D. So we have two running backs, a wide receiver, and I was trying to explain what that
it's a dick pick.
Trying to explain that to people who are actually listening. But then Cooper Kupp left, so we are off the board, and now Deebo Samuel for K-Sig's team. So K-Sig, why Deebo Samuel?
Because I was trying to message Shantae, because she's technically the owner of the team, and I got to 5 seconds left, and I just clicked really quick.
All right, hey, it's not a bad choice.
So I didn't even get to come up with a plan. I have no plan.
The plan is draft pretty people.
All right.
You would be the first in my draft if that was the case. And so, but bold strategy is what BRob is saying there. And so
we're going to call up BRob real quick for not being here, because he's too scared of you.
He's typing in the chat, but he's too scared to meet with us and draft with us in person. But if Deebo Samuel continues the amount of running and catching that he did last season, that first draft pick may really be good for you. All right, Austin Eckler goes next to the victorious Venables. And here in 2 picks comes Mason, at Hughes. So I wanted to tell Hughes, his daughter, Nora, she turned 4 today. So that's why he's not on our draft. I want to give a huge shout out to Nora. So Nora, who is my best friend, she said that, not me, but I will echo it.
Happy birthday, Nora.
Turning 4.
Happy birthday.
All right, so Armed Rodri. Took Justin Jefferson, wide receiver from Minnesota. I said Minneapolis. And now we've got Hughes up, and it looks pretty much most of the first round of being chosen, except for maybe one or two, is pretty accurate to what most of the drafts have been. So as some of these other drafts are going, what was your experience of the fantasy football draft or the league last year, both Guyver and Kasich?
It would help if I unmute. I enjoyed it. The draft was fun. Like, you did a great job with commentary. And I think I told you guys before, like, I don't keep up with football anymore like I should. So I was doing everything purely off of stats. I don't even remember how I finished. Probably poorly.
You actually did pretty all right. So as my choice pick, Joe Mixon went right before my pick. Najee Harris went right before that pick. Jamar Chase, went right before that pick. It's given me okay. So I went through and I drafted Dalvin Cook, who dropped to number 12, which was awesome. I would have taken him if I was like the 5th pick. I would have taken him there. And then I got Alvin Kamara. So I have my 2 running backs. I am good. So now I'm going to look at probably wide receiver and quarterback as I go on. But next up, let's see, we have riding with the Russ, took Javonte Williams. And so he has maybe a shared backfield, but especially if Gordon goes down in Denver whenever they're both playing, Javonte Williams could be a stud. All right, so then Leonard Fournette comes off to Hughes's team. Team Carter takes Stephon Diggs. Devontae Adams, it was taken by Armed Rodri. So we have a pretty nice selection of running backs and wide receivers that are being taken. So if you guys want to continue, Guy Redden, did you say what your experience was?
It was fun. I'm not the biggest, I don't like pro football. I like college football. And even then, I barely understand it. We all know this. The jokes are all there. And Lily made fun of me constantly because she was demolishing my team for a while. Because she's like, why'd you do that? I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. So it was a lot of fun, though. For me, it was about the experience of doing it with all our friends. I think that's what made it fun for me.
Yeah. And we know how much you like to do it with your friends. So that's
all
really
the time. Mostly 2 at a time. No, wait.
Oh, I have another one?
I was going to say.
Chassis.
Oh, there you go. Chassis for when you get chafed down there. All right, so a quick update. So we have Nick Chubb off the board, CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill. Mark Andrews is now our 2nd tight end taken. Kelsey was, first, and then Kelsey was taken. So we have now tight ends. And a lot of times what you'll see in a lot of these drafts is runs on certain positions. So when those first 2 tight ends come off, you're going to see probably a lot of other tight ends come off as well. So yeah, we're almost to, let's see what pick. Venables is up and about to pick. And we've got, all right, they go with Mike Williams. Armed Rodri takes DJ Moore. Cam Akers is taken as well from Team Carter. So I won't necessarily go through and announce every person that's going through and doing this, but because that would be an incredibly boring podcast. But instead, just wanted to give you a kind of an idea of how fast it was going and going that route.
It's going pretty quick.
Yeah, and I set it for 30 seconds, so it would, because we have 16 rounds to go through and do. So that way, at the end of this, we can actually, talk about our teams, look at it, see what we like. But up next is, that's me. Or actually, with Russ is next, and then I'm up next with 2 picks. So I'm going to take probably 2 wide receivers with mine, since my first 2 picks were, there we go. So I'm going to choose A.J. Brown, the wide receiver from Philadelphia that just came over from Tennessee. I think he's going to have an amazing year. I'm also probably going to take. Are you guys hearing that too? Is
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
okay? I apologize. I will turn my sound off. There we go.
No, keep it going. It's
Uh,
fine. I think that's
fine.
what's making it.
Then
Awesome.
I'm also going to take, man, it's between Michael Pittman Jr. and Cortland Sutton. I think I'm going to take Pittman Jr., though. I think that's going to be the better overall choice for me. I was thinking about taking a tight end, but man, yeah, I'm going to do Michael Pittman Jr. So, all right. So, Doctor, have you played fantasy football before? Is this something that you
Yeah.
are familiar with?
Yeah, I've played it before, and it was one of those things, like I said, where I literally joined a league and didn't play for like half the season. And by the time I got back into it, I was in the lead, and I ended up winning, which was kind of funny.
That's awesome.
So, but yeah, no, most of the players that I actually picked are based on like because I've actually seen them play live.
Oh,
The
yeah.
reason I chose Amari Cooper was because he was great for Dallas the last season he played with them,
Yeah.
and you know, Aaron Rodgers I've seen play live, and that man is just a monster.
Oh my gosh, he is.
So, but there's one quarterback I'm surprised no one's picked up yet, and
Who's that?
if nobody picks him as Mahomes, if
Oh,
nobody
yeah.
picks Mahomes, I'm gonna take him because
Okay.
that's just, I mean, he's gonna be an amazing quarterback in
Yeah.
his career. So
That'll give you two quarterbacks, and
Yeah.
you can only start one. So
Mhm.
that gives you a possibility to maybe trade another team or use it like that.
yeah,
We have our second quarterback off the board with Josh Allen in the 4th round, which is a very solid pick. But yeah, Mahomes is still sitting out there along with
No,
quite
he's
a
not.
few others. Oh, no, he is not. So Team Newbie takes Patrick Mahomes right underneath you,
Oh,
Doctor.
they got me.
So go ahead and tell K-Sig how much you hate him.
I'll hate you, Casey.
You don't want to hear my strategy on why I took Mahomes?
Let's hear
You
it.
heard me. Let's hear
Because Doc wanted him.
it. Exactly. All
You
right.
know, I can't fault that, honestly.
Yeah.
Can't fault that at all.
I'm gonna let my co-owner know here. We're coming up with a strategy right now.
I mean, it's
Defense.
it's
Are we doing defense?
chess.
Yeah, we're doing and that's a great question. I probably should have addressed that. We're doing one quarterback, two running backs, two wide receivers, a tight end, and then a flex with a defense and a kicker. A flex.
Oh God, I
can
can't believe I'm
be
doing this.
Any
gonna
running
hurt.
back, any wide receiver, anything like that.
Mhm.
So
Flexibility is
All right.
important.
nailing
Thank you.
down the defense, love it. Nice, man. Getting the players that you want. That's important. It's
Yeah.
very, very important. All right. So CD's nuts is on the clock, who's probably going to change the name because it was named after CD Lamb, the wide receiver, and the player who went to where? OU. Boomer. So,
Oh, yeah.
so yeah, he's probably going to change the name because he didn't get CD Lamb on his team.
No.
So yeah, probably is
I
not.
think I
going-
picked
Oh,
him
actually,
up.
I'm sorry. He did. He did
Did
get
he?
CD Lamb on his team.
Oh, that's why he.
So-
Okay, but he was
so that
on.
that makes sense now. It makes sense why he would go through and get that. All right, so Hughes is on the clock, so we'll see how Hughes is thinking there. I'm going to go quarterback with my next. Right now, my choices are Lamar Jackson, so a mobile quarterback from Baltimore. Jalen Hurts, who went to where? OU. Boomer. And Dak Prescott, Tom Brady are kind of the four that are there. I'm not going to go with, well, man, I don't know. Lamar Jackson it's kind of tempting. I'm torn between Lamar Jackson or Jalen Hurts because they're both mobile quarterbacks. You know what? I'm going to go with my gut. I'm going to go with the Sooner. I'm choosing Jalen Hurts. All right, so now I'm going to just choose from the best possible players that are left to fill my flex spot. And so I'm probably going to go with Brandon Cooks, a wide receiver from Houston, or Darnell Mooney. I think I'm going to reach for it. I think I'm going to do Darnell Mooney, wide receiver for Chicago. He's the number one receiver there. So we'll see how that goes. All right. So just to recap, we have for Doctor's team, we have quarterback Aaron Rodgers. We've got wide receiver Is that Julio Jones? Let's see.
Yeah, Julio Jones.
Okay, Julio Jones.
Amari Cooper. Yeah.
We got Amari Cooper, Dalton Schultz, which is a really good choice for your tight end. He's going to be a sleeper with
Yeah, definitely.
With Gallup being out. There's going to be so many more chances for him to catch quite a bit there. And then you have your defense of the Cowboys. I think I'm seeing some type of theme here.
Yeah, it's a thing, man. I'll admit it.
Theme.
I'll admit it. I am a Dallas fan. I've been a Dallas fan since I was 4 years old, and it will never change. I don't care how many times we are almost get to the playoffs. I'm always going to be a Dallas fan. It is what it is.
Growing up, I was a Bills fan for whatever reason. They went to the Super Bowl 4 times and lost 4 times. So I always joked that growing up, my 2 favorite teams were the Bills, Buffalo Bills, and whoever played the Dallas Cowboys of that week. But since I've changed with Dak and Zeke, man, they're just such a fun group. So, Doctor, did you get to see them on the HBO series? Oh shoot, my mind just totally went blank.
Yeah, I did actually get to see that. Yeah.
They were so great on Hard Knocks. They were like just a couple of kids out there having fun, and that's really what you want to see. I mean, right? Mm-hmm. So looking at, let me pull up Team Newbie, who is K-Sig and Shantae's team. So we've got Patrick Mahomes as the quarterback. We've got Miles Sanders, Eagle running back. We've got Deebo Samuel, wide receiver. You've got Tyreek Hill, wide receiver. So you're pretty stacked at wide receiver. And your flex is Keenan Allen, who is a very solid wide receiver from not San Diego anymore, LA Chargers. And you have Kyler Murray as well on your bench. So you have 2 of the best quarterbacks out there. So you can definitely use that as trade bait. You can go through, and whoever has a better game that week or schedule, you can go through and choose. Mm-hmm. So K-Sig, how you feeling about your team so far?
Decent. I'm feeling decent. I would feel better if I was more knowledgeable about everything right now. So, but I am going to be making hopefully a fan pick here pretty soon, because I think you guys kind of hit that a little bit earlier. Like, you got your fan picks, right? Like, you're making your smart strategic picks, but if there's a team or a player you're a fan of, for some reason, it feels like good luck to pick up that one specific pick. And I've got one that I do every year that I'm going to get made fun of. But it's coming.
Tell us who it is so Doctor can steal it from you.
No. No, I don't want him to buffalo me. So,
all right. So go ahead, Doctor.
Oh no, I was going to say, like, I saw Dallas and Green Bay play in Dallas or whatever, Arlington, wherever the hell the stadium's at. But I literally was in the stadium while both the Dallas Cowboys and the Packers were it was a madhouse, like just the energy in that building. And I had to walk out of that stadium with a Packers jersey on, because that was the bet. If Dallas would have won, my fiance at the time would have worn my jersey, and then I had to wear her jersey, and we were literally walking down the stairs, and she's like, "No, you got to do it." So I took my jersey off and I put her jersey on and had to walk out of the stadium for it. But that's why I'm so I'm so zoned in on more of the Packer players and the Cowboy players, because actually seeing them play and knowing what they're capable of and seeing them in sync with one another is just amazing. So but yeah, definitely if for Kasich though, I would probably, if I were you, maybe put Nick Foles on your team. You know, he's a good player.
And right now he's backing up. But again, and since you have 2 quarterbacks, you may want to look at some of the other positions.
We're hashing out. Me and Shante are in Discord right now, hashing out a strategy. You guys?
Oh, nice.
You're in.
Hey, strategy is where it's at. Mm-hmm. So I'll tell you my last 2 picks. I still need a tight end. God love me. But since I didn't get one of the first 3 to 4 tight ends that are pretty decent, and I'd say that probably ends with Schultz. You've got, of course, Mark Andrews, who went to, what college did he go to? Oh, that's right. OU. Boomer. So Mark Andrews is a top quarterback. Tight end. You've got Kyle Pitts out of Atlanta, who is a stud. Of course, you've got Travis Kelce, who is the number one overall. And then I would say probably Schultz is right there, right after them. For me personally, if I can't get any of those four, I'm just going to wait. So I either want great or wait, basically, on my tight ends. So for mine, I went ahead and chose Brandon Ayuk, who is an up and coming. This will be his third year as a wide receiver. Pretty good. And I went ahead and took Dameon Pierce, who is a rookie out of Houston, running back that I think has the potential to work into my starting lineup. All right, so let's see. K-Sig, what's the strategy that you guys are coming up with?
Part of just now, I've always tried to grab, if I get a wide receiver and a quarterback from the same team, I always try to get a kicker from the same team. I always try to match my kicker and my quarterback.
Okay.
And so it's a gamble, but it can help stack your points a little bit.
Yeah. And it's one of the things I like to do a lot of times is if I have a stud wide receiver, if I can get that quarterback, man, every time there's a touchdown, it is double points. And
if you can grab that kicker and make the trifecta out of it,
I'm telling you. All right. So Doctor, how are you looking, or what strategy do you have going into looking at some of your bench players and reserves?
Really, I'm probably just going to do another quarterback, maybe another defense. I was actually thinking about putting another defense in there, so that way, since I can't really get like how Kasich was saying, like you want to kind of have your kicker and your defense at the same time, and I didn't think of that until he had said it, and I went to go look and I missed out on my kicker for Dallas. But again, I don't like Dallas's kicker. When they got rid of what was his name, the kicker that they had for the longest time, when they got rid of him and they got this new guy, and last season when he missed a field goal or an extra point, like that's when you know to get rid of him, dude. You can't miss an extra point. It's that simple. That's your job. Like, you know what I mean? I can understand if it's like 30, 40, 50 yards or whatever. That's difficult. That takes a lot of skill. But when you're at the dang 15-yard line and you can't make an extra point, come on, man. Like, get rid of him. Get rid of the guy. We lost so many games because of that, man.
The name of the kicker is Kiki McKickerson.
Kiki McKickerson, yeah.
I was hoping for Ray Finkel this year, honestly.
It's almost like his parents named him thinking he was going to be a kicker or something like that. That's
weird.
Like that.
All right, so I'm on the clock here in one pick. I think you guys have talked me into it. Usually I wait all the way and don't even draft sometimes a kicker in a defense. I think I am going to take a backup quarterback though, because you guys taking these backups are making me think I need to. So I'm going to choose Trey Lance. He's the second year quarterback out of San Francisco, who I think has incredible amounts of upside. So I'm going to choose him. Let me pull up my team real quick and see what else I need. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and draft Trey Lance. So I think I feel pretty good. I have Jalen Hurts and Trey Lance as my quarterbacks. I feel pretty solid about that. Man, what do I want to do next?
I'm going to ask you a question
furiously over here
while you're thinking.
Shoot.
Do you think someone should give Baker Mayfield another chance, or do you think he's done, or is he a one-trick pony just like Dak Prescott is? And I say that as a Dallas fan. That Dak
I was going to say I don't know if you can tell.
No, yeah, but the reason I'm asking though, not because he played for OSU, but the simple fact was because how great he was, great, mind you, air quotes, in college, but now that he's in that professional atmosphere, he can't produce the points that he was producing in college.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So would you give Baker Mayfield another chance, or would you cut him loose?
Oh no. And to make it perfectly like out there, I am incredibly biased. I love Baker Mayfield. I love the fire. I love planting the flag in the middle of the Ohio State stadium, and I mean all of that. And then he gets to Cleveland, and he turned that whole franchise around. They went several years without a win, and then they had like one or two wins before him in like 4 years.
There it is.
And so he did quite a bit to turn that whole thing around. And if you look at it, he set the rookie record for touchdowns with 28 touchdowns. That held for an entire year until my boy Herbert over in LA broke that record. And if you look at it too, in his first year, set the rookie record, did well. Second year, it was okay. It wasn't great. Third year, he took Cleveland, who hadn't been to the playoffs in over almost 2 decades, took them to the playoffs, to Pittsburgh on the road, where they hadn't won a road playoff game in 60 years, and beat them. And then the next year, last year, he got hurt in the second game and played hurt the entire season. And so I personally, and again, I'm incredibly biased, but I think he does deserve a second chance. And now that he's in Carolina and the starter in Carolina, I think you're going to see him. I honestly think he's going to be comeback player of the year, because so many people had written him off and said, no, he sucks, and he's too cocky, and just wait, because the very first game that Carolina plays is against the Cleveland Browns. And if you don't think that he is going to go off, you have never watched Baker Mayfield before. So
true.
It's going to be really fun. It's going to be really, really fun to watch. All right. So my picks are coming up. And so I think I'm going to look and see what's available at tight end, because I'm feeling scared. Okay. You know what? All right. I'm going to go ahead and take a tight end here. I'm going to take David Njoku, who was Baker's old teammate in Cleveland. I honestly think that he's a sleeper that is going to do pretty well. I'm not going to draft a second tight end. I'm going to wait until and take them off waivers and do that. So now I'm looking basically at just filling in my bench and trying to get the best possible players. So I'm going to choose with my next pick. Oof, man. That's so hard. You know what? I'm going to go with the upside. I'm going to choose Sky Moore, who is a rookie wide receiver out of Kansas City. He has all the potential to be a league-winning pick, especially as my round. What are we in? Round 12. So as my round 12 pick.
We are flying.
He is definitely, yes. All right, so let's look at Team Newbie. So that's K-Sig and Shante.
Mm-hmm.
So your team is good. You've got all starters. You've got Patrick Mahomes as the quarterback. You've got Miles Sanders, the running back. Tony Pollard as the your second running back. And that's actually a really pretty sneaky good pick, because if you've looked or watched or read any of the reports out of Dallas, even though Jerry Jones says that Ezekiel Elliott still has it, and man, if you just use the eye test, last year, anytime Tony Pollard touched the ball, it was like you thought he was going to take it to the house. But Zeke just looked like he had lost a step. So I think choosing Tony Pollard, K-Sig, on your team is good. You have Deebo Samuel, Tyreek Hill, Dallas Goedert as your tight end. That's a solid tight end too. Keenan Allen, and then the Bears defense. So
that's the fan pick, the Bears D.
I got you. The Bears.
If you remember last year when I had the team, it was Ditka envy. So
that's right.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, I also have a theme going with mine. Last year I was the Central City Sloths. So as you can tell, if you're looking on the YouTube feed, my entire office is all Flash stuff. And so
who's the hero of Central City?
Yeah, it's the Flash.
I thought it was Quicksilver.
That's the loudest silence I've ever heard in my life.
I have the power as commissioner to kick you off of this thing, so just remember that. But this year,
I was saying boo
that man.
Boo earns. But this year, I'm the Gotham City crying orphans. And so
it's funny because his parents are dead.
So that'll
get over your dead parents.
And it also shows that I'm kind of a DC guy. So
yeah.
All right, so the doctor, and by the way, doctor, I'm glad to have you on here. It's nice to have a fellow doctor on the podcast. So
doctor.
I've always wanted to do that Spies Like Us thing with people.
Lady?
No one's ever done it, so.
Doctor lady.
Lady doctor.
So looking at your team, doctor, you've got Aaron Rodgers as your starter quarterback. You've got Melvin Gordon, I said Marvin earlier, Melvin Gordon the third, and AJ Dillon. So you've got two running backs that have quite a bit of upside, especially if the players that they're playing with get hurt. So if Javonte Williams gets hurt, if and AJ Dillon's going to have value by himself for sure, but if Aaron Jones gets hurt, oh shoot, I'm on the clock.
Oh no!
All right,
You're
I'm going
the
to choose.
commissioner. You can just reset it.
I don't want to
Just pause
cheat.
it.
All right, so for mine, I went ahead and chose Deshaun, or not Deshaun Watson. That would be bad. I went ahead and chose Dotson, the wide receiver rookie that's in Washington. I think maybe I should choose man. I think I'm going to go for the Steelers. No, I don't want to do the Steelers D. Oh, it's going to make me draft somebody. Oh, no. Okay, well, I took Justin Fields. So apparently I love the running quarterbacks, the mobile, because I have Jalen Hurts, I've got Trey Lance, and Justin Fields all on my team. So apparently I am all about the running mobile quarterbacks. And so, okay, and then let's see. Okay, now it's up to Venables. So back to Doctor. So looking at your team, we've got AJ Dillon, and so if Aaron Jones goes down, AJ Dillon is going to be a league winner. Like that's going to be a pick you're going to love. And so you've got Amari Cooper for sure, and is a number one quarterback. He's got Jacoby Brissett throwing to him, but man, once Deshaun Watson comes back in 11 games, that could be a league winner too.
I'm hoping so, yeah.
Yeah, you've got Randall Cobb, and that's a sneaky pick because your quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, wanted him to come back. He begged him to come back and worked his contract. So that could definitely be great for you. So yeah, I'm seeing lots of Packers and I'm seeing lots of Cowboys on yours. So that's pretty cool. So are you also a Packers fan? Because that's almost like being a Texas fan and an OU fan, being a Packers fan and a Dallas fan.
Honestly, I like the Packer players, but like I said, it's their synchronage that they have when they play. So, if Aaron Rodgers and Randall Cobb can match up like they did when I was seeing my team get their butts kicked for, 6 years in a row, I'm going to try and use that strategy to make sure that happens. So, but honestly, I don't know much about other players because I don't watch other teams. Right. Most of the other players that are on here, I went off of what was projected point base wise, which, it's not really good strategy wise, but at the same time, if it's something like, okay, well, now we can start doing the trades, now we can start dropping and picking up free agents and stuff like that. Because I have the two quarterbacks on here, Tannehill and Cousins. Now, Cousins, it is what it is. You know what I mean? From what I've seen Cousins play.
I think Cousins is the Minnesota offense. They have a new offensive coordinator, and with Justin Jefferson and Dalvin Cook, I think you're going to like that pick. Okay, so he's a sleeper for sure. He's going to finish as a top 10 quarterback for sure. Because everything in the NFC North, it's going to be a shootout. They're going to be playing up against Detroit's much improved. You've got let's see, I'm going to choose that defense. Detroit's much improved. You've got Green Bay, who is, it's going to be a shootout. And so it's going to be, I think, a good pick for you. Yeah. And I'm picking a kicker. A kicker. You know what? We're talking about Minnesota. I'm going to choose the Minnesota kicker. I'm going to put my money where my mouth, or my pick where my mouth is. If I think their offense is going to be so good.
Did you pronounce that right? Okay.
I don't know. But yeah, if I think their offense is going to be that good, then yeah, I'm going to go through and pick that. So, all right. So we're in our last round of picks. So we're going through, and basically this is where people are either choosing their defense, choosing their kicker, or just trying to fill out their backups and things like that. One of the most fun parts about fantasy football is the waivers and picking someone up off of waivers. So for those that aren't familiar, waivers are basically all the players that weren't drafted. and you can go in and drop a player and pick up another player, that type of thing. And if they're on waivers, then you can go through and choose them. And so let's say my tight end is David Njoku for Cleveland. Let's say he just stinks it up and isn't good at all. Well, then I can go on waivers and pick up a new tight end and try to, find someone that's better. And, fantasy football drafts are important. But for me, I think it's basically your team for sure. But I think drafts are won or lost on the waivers. So, all right. And our draft is officially done. So yay.
That went a lot faster. We had a way shorter timer than we did last year. Last year we did what, like 2.5 minutes?
We did like 2.5 minutes, and I think I grew a beard your size waiting for that. So.
His beard grew 2 sizes that season.
2 sizes too big.
So, if it's possible, if it's okay, Chris, or Guyver, sorry, for you to
everyone knows
share. To allow me to share screen, I'm going to go through and I'm
You're the right
going
one.
To,
we all know how that ended up last time.
Yeah. Go through,
and I don't edit anything out, so
make this to where there's just lots of number 8s equal signs type of things. But I was going to show each team.
Okay, you should be good.
Who they drafted. So let's look. There we go. All right. Well, that's not. There we go. Can you guys see that?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So the first up, we have the African Shoe Bills. And so starting quarterback Lamar Jackson, very solid. Jonathan Taylor, who is most people's number 1 pick overall.
Just want to say I loved him in Full House. Not Full House,
yeah.
Home Improvement.
In
Home Improvement, yeah.
I think didn't that kid have like 4 names, like Jonathan Taylor, Thomas, Steve, or something?
Steve,
JTT.
yes. Yeah, JTTS.
But Lamar Jackson, 2 running backs, Jonathan Taylor and DeAndre Swift. Man, this is starting to be a solid team. Jalen Waddle, the second-year receiver from Miami, and then DK Metcalf, the phenomenon. Have you guys ever seen DK Metcalf? He's I think 6'5", and he's about as wide as he is tall. He's just pure muscle.
I'm Googling right now.
Yeah, he's a phenomenon. He always dyes his hair different colors.
He is a beast.
The flex that the African Shoe Bills have is James Conner, running back for Arizona, with the Saints defense, and the kicker is Nick Folk from New England. That is an incredibly solid team. So let me pull up the next one. We've got Doctor's team. So Doctor, you want to walk us through your team?
Yeah. So I got for my starting quarterback would be Aaron Rodgers. And then one of my running backs, Melvin Gordon III, I again was just a random based on points. AJ Dillon, same thing. Julio Jones, he's just always been a favorite player of mine to watch during the seasons. Amari Cooper. Oh, go ahead. I
was going to say, and being traded, he was traded to Tampa Bay, and so now he has, some guy what's his name? Tom Brady thrown.
Tom Brady. Yeah.
And Julio Jones he's
going to get a lot lot of points. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And he's
Amari
taking
Cooper,
over the role that crazy dude who quit.
Ray Finkel.
Yeah.
Not Ray
Einhorn?
Finkel. Remind just told me I can see his face. Anyway, I'll remember it here in a minute.
Bobby Boucher.
Yes.
Bobby Boucher.
Yes, he is the devil.
Water sucks.
All right, Doctor, finish up. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. Amari Cooper, another favorite to watch, and just because I've seen him play live and he's amazing. Dalton Schultz, I picked him as my tight end just because Dallas, why not? And then my flex, I got Randall Cobb, just because he's a good receiver, and I want to have a lot more receivers because I honestly think that this season now is going to be more based on passes than it is going to be running like it was back in the day. But it's just my opinion. And then Dallas, they've always had an amazing defense. But then I'm going to back that up with the Packers too, because the Packers are just amazing when it comes to defending Aaron Rodgers. And so I won't be losing a lot of points, hopefully.
Nice.
Yeah. Tannehill, I'll probably just keep him just in case. I'll probably drop him later on and put somebody else in. It was just an emergency pick because I was running out of time. And then Kirk Cousins, I'm going to take your advice and hold on to him and see how well he plays out. And then the last ones I just kind of threw on there. I'm not going to lie. I ran out of people that I know. And then I put Crosby there because Crosby's just an amazing kicker in general.
yeah.
So.
Well, and one thing I noticed here too, the way you drafted was smart, because if you look at the buys, that's right there on the side. Like Aaron Rodgers has a bye the 14th week. AJ Dillon has a bye the 14th week. So now you can put Cousins up there, and put Javonte, or not, is that let me double check who that is. Jamal Williams. Sorry, I said Javonte. Yeah. But you can put Jamal Williams up there for both of those guys. So I think you did a great job as far as looking at the bye weeks and making sure that you have a team that you want to watch. And that's like the most important thing, right?
Definitely. And I'm not going to lie, because I didn't even check the buys. I never do.
Yeah.
So that is all luck right there. So,
well,
but I appreciate you letting me know.
Yeah, really you did well. And honestly, I don't check buys either. If I have two players that are right at the same tier for me, okay, great. It's same position, same tier, great. I'll look at the buy. But for the most part, the buys, I mean, you can't let a buy make you go a whole level down, a whole tier down to another player. You want the most points possible. In fact, if I could have a team, honestly, that was all buys the same week, that means I will win probably every game except for that 1 week, and that's fine. I'll lose one game. And so it's pretty interesting. All right, so we look at Team Downham. So Team Downham, who is my kiddo, so I'm gonna be extra hard on him. All right, so he has Wilson as his quarterback, pretty good. Derrick Henry, and then Montgomery as his two running backs, very, very solid there. T. Higgins out of Cincinnati for his wide receiver, and Deontay Johnson, wide receiver. Kelsey as his tight end. Brandon Cooks as his flex wide receiver. Bucks, who is probably the best defense out there. And then Prater out of Arizona as the kicker. Dang, my kid's probably going to beat me. This is a great team. And so he has some good bench players that he can put in there as well. So that's pretty good. 8 equals D. Again, ask Guyver what that might mean. He has Joe Burrow. He has Breece Hall and Devin Singletary as his running backs. Cooper Kupp and Mike Evans. So his wide receivers are stronger than his running backs, but Breece Hall could be a pretty huge sleeper for the New York Jets. So could be interesting. He's got Mark Andrews, who is where did he go to school? Oh yeah, Boomer. Great tight end. Cortland Sutton as the flex, who is a very solid. He's going to be the number 1 receiver for Wilson in Denver. It's going to be great. Ravens, Baltimore defense is always good. So that's also a great league. All right, so K-Sig, run us through yours.
It would help if I unmuted. So, I got Mahomes because, Doc wanted. That was a pick steal. Really, a lot of it was just looking at stats. So it's all stats picks on me because, just like last year, I have not watched any more football than I had the year before. And so our strategy was Shante would pick one. And then I would pick one, and then she would pick one. And so we were going back and forth, but it was just mostly looking closer at bye weeks too. I do look at bye weeks. I've been burned before, when I had some late season bye weeks and I had nothing to fill in. It was like neck and neck. So that's my panic, is to not have a quarterback or a position just to fill in. We tried to match our kicker with our quarterback, which I talked about that earlier. And then we got my Bears fan pick So
Nice.
Bears.
the
Okay.
Bears.
And honestly, you're the first person I've ever heard that had the strategy of matching a kicker with the quarterback, and you're kind of blowing my mind because that makes so much sense. That especially whenever you have an offense like Kansas City's does, where Patrick Mahomes is going to be scoring a ton. Well, that means that kicker is going to be scoring a ton.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, you might be onto something there.
We'll
So
see. We'll see. I really think
Scoring a
this,
ton.
yeah, I think this team, especially my kickers, there's a lot of we're looking at probably a lot of potential hat tricks, lots of home runs thrown. So it should be a really good,
And
really
lots of
interesting
home
season.
runs,
Yeah.
lots of slap stickings,
Yeah.
and lots of scoring, unlike Kasich.
Nice.
Yep. That's
I did
name of the
notice
team.
you have Kyler Murray on your bench. And that's of course the jersey that I'm wearing right now is Kyler Murray. And so you've got probably two of the top, I want to say 5 quarterbacks on your team in the entire league. So that's going to be really helpful on your bye week, or you can definitely use that if you see, let's say your tight end gets hurt.
We got decent trade bait for sure.
Yeah, Dallas Goedert gets hurt, man.
You have been
You
working
could get
on.
so much good stuff for Kyler Murray. And it might also be that, I don't think it's going to happen, but Patrick Mahomes might have a down year. He lost Tyreek Hill. It could be something that could happen. Well, now you've got a stud that you can just put right in place. And so
I think I had Kyler last year. I'm pretty sure I did.
Yeah. And he can be, with the way he runs, he can be a league winner for sure. All right. So you're feeling pretty good about your team?
I feel amazing about my team. I'm just
Nice.
filling my team all up right now. Yeah.
Ooh. Picks or no, it didn't happen. All right. So
working on it. Hang on.
CD's Nuts is the next team. And it was named because he drafted CD Lamb. So he is CD's Nuts. So he has
That's
Justin
exactly
Herbert.
what it was.
Yeah. He has Justin Herbert as his quarterback, one of the top quarterbacks. Christian McCaffrey, who is some people's first overall pick. And then he's got Aaron Jones. So Herbert, McCaffrey, Jones, CeeDee Lamb, and Marquise Brown. Where did Marquise Brown go to school? Oh, that's right. Boomer.
I was gonna make it. I was gonna, guess, and then I realized what you were doing.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
It's a kind of an on-running joke.
Wait a minute.
From last year
Is
because
it Texas?
BRob is a fan of Oklahoma State. I'm a fan of OU.
Huge
that type of thing.
OSU fan.
Yeah, and he's not here to
So-
defend himself, so you're going to jump on every
And
opportunity.
we're
Because
gonna
he's scared.
we're going to be making fun of his team here in a second. But he has Hunter Henry as his tight end. Damian Harris running back as his flex, Bills defense, which is always stout, and then the Cincinnati kicker. So it's a really pretty solid team for CD's Nuts. We have the victorious Venables, which is that BRob?
No way.
No. Riding with Russ. That's BRob. I was gonna say
Is it?
because Venables is the OU coach, and I was like, man, why would he choose that?
Oh, no, wait.
Right.
So I figured he would have been Captain America because he loves Captain America.
That's Hughes.
Oh, that's Hughes?
Yeah, and so
Okay.
since BRob finished behind me last year, that's where he usually finishes, if you know what I'm saying. He is
Good
right
spot.
there. He's riding with Russ. So
Wait, who's the African Shoe Bills?
it's one of our newer, someone that didn't play last year. So
Jesse, maybe?
I can look that. No,
Okay.
Jesse is I think CD's Nuts is Jesse.
Oh, is it? Because
Yeah.
the shoe bill is a frightening, mean bird.
Yeah, those shoe bills are just ridiculous.
It's nothing to fuck with.
They're the dodos that should have been
yeah,
extinct.
Google. According
Dodos
to
should have
Audubon.
stuck around.
The shoe bill, or the most terrifying bird in the world, according to the Audubon Society. Okay, that's cool.
I am learning so much from you guys. It's amazing.
I mean,
We're
you look at a dodo bird,
nerds.
but just give it the legs of a giraffe, and yeah,
The
Nice.
beak
That's
of
a
a
shoe bill.
howitzer on that
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
And they kill their nest mates
Wow.
yeah, but they
brutally.
become
The parents do.
I came for the fantasy football. I stayed for the football.
Mhm.
You learned
And
about
there's-
birds.
You got it.
there's a guy who has one as a pet, and
What?
like he bows to you, and you have to bow back to him, and then he becomes your friend.
It's like
It's
Buckbeak.
weird.
Isn't
It's
that,
so weird.
Harry Potter?
Kung Fu Bird.
Almost. It's almost to the point, but it's like the guy talks about how this shoe bill just walks around the house, and then like when new people come in, you can't walk up to the shoe bill. He has to walk up to you, and when he bows to you, you're allowed to like pet him, and it's so weird, man. Like look it up. Look, guy who owns a shoe bill. I would never have that thing in my house. If I saw that walk at my house, I would probably jump out the window.
Doc is
I'm not
super
gonna-
invested in
I'm
this.
like,
Well,
they are
now I know-
scary birds.
Now
I
I know
like
what to get you for Christmas.
Oh God, please don't.
So,
Please.
all right,
don't.
so the Victorious Venables, and named after a head coach for some team. Oh, that's right, OU. Boomer. Brent Venables. So they have Josh Allen, and a lot of people put Josh Allen as the number 1 overall quarterback. Austin Eckler and Nick Chubb as the running backs, very solid. You've got Mike Williams from I keep wanting to say San Diego, but it's LA Chargers. And then Allen Robinson, who is a sleeper pick for sure. He just got traded to the LA Rams and is now basically the second behind Cooper Kupp there. George Kittle, who has been a stud tight end in the past. And then DeAndre Hopkins, who is going to be out for the first 6 weeks. So I might need a message, Victorious Venables, to remind. Or they may have drafted just so they'll have them for that second part of the season. Then 49ers defense, solid, and Justin Tucker, probably the best kicker. So, man, all of these teams this is going to be a rough year this year. All right, so next is Armed Rodgery, who beat the tar out of me last year because we were in the same division. So she has that's me, that has Tom Brady, there you go, as her quarterback, J.K. Dobbins and Elijah Mitchell as the 2 running backs, Justin Jefferson, who is probably the number 1. Some people argue maybe Cooper Kupp. Some people argue it's Justin Jefferson, number 1 overall receiver. Devontae Adams. So, man, her wide receivers are studs. And she has Kyle Pitts as her tight end. That's one of the top 3 or 4 tight ends for sure. And then DJ Moore. I may try to trade her DJ Moore because he's one of my favorites that Baker's going to be thrown to. And then you got Steelers, D, and then Robbie Gould. So San Francisco kicker. Again, solid team. Just a few more here. So Team Carter has Dak Prescott. So sorry, Doctor, Carter took away your quarterback.
Yeah, they did.
That's,
and I had him queued and everything. I
Take
was
it,
like,
Doc.
well, he's
That's
still
a-
hanging in there.
That's how it happens. He should have, if unfortunately they're having some line problems with injuries and also with Michael Gallup not being 100%, but
Yeah.
Jalen Tolbert is going to be a stud, is going to be someone that you might want to go on the waiver wire and pick up Jalen Tolbert because he is going to, especially until Gallup comes back, should be pretty solid. But it has Cam Akers and Josh Jacobs. Does anyone know where Josh Jacobs went to high school? He went to McLean High School in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
I don't know.
And so then went to Alabama and now is all
Bama.
Yes. And then so then Team Carter has Jamar Chase and Stephon Diggs. Dang, that is 2 stud wide receivers. And Darren Waller, who is a top tight end as well. Terry McLaurin, solid wide receiver for Washington Commanders. Then we got Colts D, and then Elliott, who is Eagles. There you go. So Jake Elliott with the Eagles. Captain America. So this is at Hughes, or just Hughes, I guess. So Hughes finished, I think, 4th last year. And so he has Matthew Stafford, Super Bowl winning quarterback, Najee Harris, who is a bell cow of a running back at Pittsburgh. He's got Leonard Fournette, who some people have as a sleeper to be a top 5 running back because he's the running back for Tom Brady in Tampa Bay. You've got Jerry Jeudy, who is definitely going to be a sleeper, I think, and Chris Godwin out of Tampa Bay. So he has that Tom Brady guy, whoever that is, thrown to him. He's got Knox out of Buffalo for his tight end. Elliott is his flex. So, man, Doctor didn't get Ezekiel Elliott either.
Nope, I did
Right.
not.
But you do have some really good players on your bench that you could probably trade and try
That's
to get
true.
the team that you want. You got Chargers, and then you've got Matt Gay, Teehee out of Los Angeles as the kicker. And then feel free to make fun of this team all that you want, because this is BRob. So we've got Derek Carr, and I mean, if you
Wait.
really set out to
He had
have
Mixon again. He did.
You know why he's gonna lose? He's got Gina Davis as his wide receiver.
That'll do it every time.
Yeah, that will do it. But he has Derek Carr. So, I mean, really, if you set out this draft wanting like the 15th best quarterback out of a 12-team league, congrats, BRob. You got him. Mixon, which I'm really surprised he went with Joe Mixon, because where did Joe Mixon go to college?
I believe it was.
Oh, that's right. Boomer.
I thought he took
Listen,
Mixon
Norman.
last year too.
I had Mixon last year.
Oh, you had Mixon. Okay, I thought
Yeah,
B-Rob had
he
Mixon.
I honestly thought he would not draft any OU players because of basically me just yelling Boomer all the time to him. But he has Joe Mixon, and Joe Mixon's going to be a stud. He's Cincinnati running back. He's going to be a stud. He has Javonte Williams, which that makes total sense. B-Rob's favorite team is Denver. And so Javonte Williams is going to be the running back there. He has Amon-Ra St. Brown, so the sun god, as his first wide receiver. If anyone's watched Hard Knocks, you've seen Amon-Ra St. Brown on the Detroit team. Pretty good receiver. Man, he killed it the last part of last season. He won leagues for people last season. But B-Rob probably got lucky picking him. So Gabriel Davis, he has as his other wide receiver. I mean, that's an awesome pick if you want the third best receiver on the team. So well done, B-Rob. Pat Fryermuth, I didn't even know he was still alive as the Pittsburgh tight end, and he has Mitch Trubisky throwing to him. So hopefully Pat Fryermuth is, yeah.
Trubisky Fryermuth. You say that sounds like a really snooty craft beer.
It sounds like a delicious cracker.
Ooh. You know what?
A really bad craft beer or a really good cracker.
Yeah. Well, not as good of a cracker as what you are, K-Sig. So,
yay.
And we have Travis Etienne Jr. as his flex. That is actually a good pick. I'm going to give B-Rob that. He's a really shifty back that's going to be getting a lot of work out of Jacksonville. He has the Broncos defense. Wow, big surprise there. And then he also has Tyler Bass, who is considered to be a top kicker, so I won't give him too much crap for that.
I forgot he does his fan pick defense too. I think he did that. Yeah.
So you know, B-Rob, you did pretty well for someone that's shooting for, you know, 6th place out of 12. So great job.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have my team. So just to recap it again, I've got Jalen Hurts, Boomer, pretty good running mobile quarterback, and is going to be throwing a whole lot more, and has AJ Brown this year to throw to.
Mm-hmm.
I've got my number one pick, who is Dalvin Cook. I'm excited about that. Doctor and I were talking about the Minnesota offense and how explosive it's going to be. I think it's going to go through two people. It's going to go through Dalvin Cook, and it's going to go through Justin Jefferson. Both those guys are studs. Alvin Kamara, luckily he avoided any suspension, so he's going to be, and I think he's going to be a stud for New Orleans running back. I've got AJ Brown, and so I now have that connection that we were talking about, K-Sig. I've got the quarterback throwing to the wide receiver, so that should be, I think, a pretty good connection for me.
I really like stacking those connections. Like, yeah,
it's especially when you're watching it on TV and it's like, oh God, please throw the yes, because it's
don't
like
throw it to him,
double points.
Jalen.
I've got Michael Pittman Jr., who I consider honestly as a top 10 receiver, and so he fell to me, I think, in the 5th round. So I am really happy about that.
Well, that's an amazing football last name. Anyway, like if you ever played any like old NCAA football games, there was always a Pittman.
Oh yeah,
that was a stud on just random college teams.
Nice. Yeah, it's and he had a pretty good season last season as his second year. This is a third year. He should really break out as the main receiver in Indy. I've got David Njoku. That was just kind of a dart throw. I didn't get one of the first 4 or 5 like good tight ends that I really wanted, so I'm gonna take a chance on Njoku. And honestly, since I took him so late, if he doesn't work out, I'll just drop him, pick up someone else from waivers. I've got Darnell Mooney as my flex wide receiver out of Chicago. Chicago's not going to necessarily have the best offense, but I do have the quarterback, so I can put him in and have that connection again, like we've been talking about. But he's the number one, and there's really no one else in Chicago to catch the ball besides maybe David Montgomery. And so I think he's going to get a lot of volume. My defense is the Commanders, which sucks, but you know what? It's a defense, whatever. I don't care. And then
I'll give it to you, but I mean, they still suck.
Yeah. And my kicker, as Doctor and I were talking, my kicker is the Minnesota kicker, because I think it's going to be a lot of points. And every time Dalvin Cook scores, my kicker is going to be kicking it. So
I want to like a little comment on your roster, which is pretty cool. Like I like what you have and you have Jalen up there, right? And like I didn't know if did you know the story about him?
Yes.
Like he had
the sheriff, please.
Well, no, way back when. Like he was like through college, extremely talented, but he had to make a decision between football, or he could have followed in his brother Dick's footsteps to go into urology, and he did not do that. Yeah. So yeah.
Well, Richard is what
urologist. Nobody got that one. Dang it.
His brother goes by Richard, but you can call him Dick.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dick Hertz is pretty good at. I thought he was proctology.
Nope, urology.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because usually most of the times I've seen Dick Hertz, it's dealing with something proctology style. So
that was a mouthful.
That's what she said. But you can tell from my buys, I actually kind of like where my buys are. All of my buys are either week 7 or week 14, except for my tight end, who I don't really care about. And so that's kind of going back to that strategy I was talking about. I'd rather have all my buys right together. So, okay, I may lose 1 or 2 games, but the rest of the entire season, my guys are going like hard at it. Just like Richard.
Easier to maintain too.
Yeah.
Like you're not looking every week on what you need to shuffle around. You just let her fly and do your trades.
For sure. So looking at that, give me your predictions for the season, each of you. Who do you think is going to do well? Who do you think not so well?
I think BRob is going all the way this year.
Okay.
No, I think
piss off Justin.
Kasich, whenever we're playing, I want to beat just Kasich for stealing the quarterback.
But you have to remember,
When do we play?
Shante is also a co-manager, and she's like the sweetest person in the world.
Mm-hmm.
That's
so
true.
If you're beating Kasich, you're also beating Shante. And
can you sleep at night if you do that?
Yeah.
See, that's the thing.
I don't think
Shantae's
you
the
can.
sleeper, though. Like, she acts like she's the sweetest person in the world. I mean, she is like our goodwill ambassador for EGTN. I think we can all admit that. She's always saying good morning and stuff. But then she'll come into like our chats, like on when we're playing, and it's like, what the fuck are you guys doing?
She'll rip it.
Like, she is foul mouthed. Like, I think it's coming out here. She could be the sleeper.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
On this one,
I'll let her run with it. So
Yes.
if we do poorly, I mean, I let her do all the picks. If we do great, then I really steered her in the right direction.
So
Kasich, who do you think, looking at those, who do you think could be tough to beat?
I mean, going with your team just because of your wealth of knowledge. Okay, I'm gonna inflate the ego a little bit here, but and go slightly off track because like the whole focus of our show, not just this show, the show in general, not this episode, is exploring your different levels of nerdom, right? Our original like one-liner was like everybody has something that they nerd out about, and fantasy football is something that is not normally looked upon as a nerdy activity, even though I've heard it talked about as like D&D for jocks. But it's still
I can
like
see that.
like one of the the things that we always say, like you can tell if somebody's nerding out about something, is the enthusiasm in their voice when they're discussing it. And the whole time, we said for like Justin's running this episode, and you can hear it when you're talking about it, like you geek out over this big time. Not just fantasy football, but just football in general. And so, I don't know where I was going with that, but I wanted to throw that out there. And that's probably I'll give you the top there. That just because based on the knowledge, because I know like you study the stats, you look them over, and it's not just casually watching. Like you get into the statistics of it, and BRob does too. I know.
Yeah.
Just from knowing him for several years and how he is, and so that's just to me that's just cool to see and watch how it plays out in the league itself.
Yeah, and it's this league is fun because you have a great mix. So you have several people who are really nerdy into it. And then you have several people who are very new. They've never played before. And then you have several people who have played just a couple years. So it's not a really hard league and like the Shantaes of the world, we're actually, kind of fun and nice and like to play each other.
Friendly trash talking.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how friendly some of the trash talking between me and BRob.
Yeah, that's a different thing altogether.
And Jesse came in swinging.
Oh, he did. Yes.
He came in. Well, he messaged me. He goes, "Hey, is trash talking allowed? And like, if so, to what extent?" I'm like, "Just go for it.
Just go for it.
It's encouraged."
Yeah, and that's where it gets fun too, as long as it's not like personal. But it's like it sticks with that. And speaking of losing teams, so with BRob, he did finish after me, and technically, the person that won this last year didn't return, so I am technically the winner because I got second place. Yeah, there you go.
And churlish.
Very childish. And it was such a weird league last season. In this league because I won the first one, first week, scored the highest amount of points, and thought, man, I'm going to kill this league. This is going to be amazing. I went through and lost the next 7 games. and it shows you that even if, especially with fantasy football, you can have all the knowledge, you can draft the best players, but you don't know what's going to happen, and you don't know if someone's going to get hurt. You don't know, if this is going to happen or that's going to happen. And so I lost the next 7 games, so I was 1-7, and I was like, well, maybe I can just beat K-Sig and BRob and maybe something like that. Then I went through and won the next 7 or 6 games and went 7-7 and squeaked into the playoffs as the last 6th place by points, barely made it into playoffs. And then my team got hot and I just kept beating people and almost won the championship. And so that's one of the most exciting things about, I think, fantasy football and just sports in general is that, man, you know what, just get to the playoffs and you never know what's going to happen. And I think this year the league is going to be even more competitive than it was last year. So it's hard for me to pick a favorite because as I was going through, I was like, oh man, that's good. And depending on what week and all of that, it's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out. So
you sound like when you're talking about players and just like going through each one, you sound like when Chris is looking at new video games that are coming out. I was like, oh, that's good. That's going to be, I want that one. No, that's also nice. This one's going to be,
or toys.
Or toys.
Or they're collectibles. Yeah. As I remind my wife, they're collectibles, they're not toys.
They are collectibles.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's the only way I can mentally justify.
They don't become toys until you take them out of the package.
No, they don't become toys until you start playing with them.
There you go.
But if you admire them,
I'll tell you guys about the damaged action figure I got and had to send back. Now I have to wait till the end of the month for a replacement.
Sad days.
I'm sorry.
It's the Batman crossed with the what's his name, the Red Lantern, head of the Red Lantern.
Oh yeah,
from Dark Metal. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Boo.
Nice.
Burns. I'll tell you, Justin. So, not knowing shit about football, but knowing the people who are in the league, I think Eric has a good shot.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you why. His brother is Christian. His brother is the one who won last year.
Right.
And he can bounce ideas off Christian because I know that they're in another league too that they're doing.
Mm.
And then I think a sleeper, I got 2 sleepers. I got Lydia.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one.
because Lydia knows her shit.
Oh yeah, and she's got Tom Brady as her quarterback, so that's armed Rodgery.
Yeah.
Armed
So,
Roger.
She, yeah, she has Tom Brady as her quarterback. Anyone that has Tom Brady as your quarterback, you might as well just mark 20 to 30 points every week.
Yeah, I'm not messing around with the Dallas and Bucks game. I'm not doing it. Like I won't even put Dallas's defense on that game. Like I will not do it. I'm sorry.
So
I'll
I've
keep
got-
Green Bay up there, man. They're
got-
playing the Vikings. It's going to be a rivalry game, and they're going to do everything they can to shove the ball down their throat. So
Oh yeah. So who's
I
your
got-
second sleeper?
So my second sleeper is going to be Jesse, our new guy.
Mm-hmm.
Just because I know Jesse likes football, big fan of football. He's played fantasy football before. He's competitive. This is going to mean a lot to him because it's Steven's thing. And he's a complete unknown in our community.
He's the X factor.
He is the X factor. I think that's why he could be the wild card.
Yeah. And he's got a top quarterback and the top running back. I mean, it's a stacked team. It's very similar to mine in the sense that really the only thing I can maybe knock on his is the tight end. And and it's just a tight end. I mean, it's like really, So yeah, I think those are two very, very solid choices. So, well, I appreciate you guys letting me take over and host for you and run through the draft with the listener.
You get one or two a year. So
Yeah.
Hey,
Justin will be back for other episodes once we all slow down with school.
And definitely
Don't
the league
worry.
wrap up. We got to do a wrap up episode this year. Once the league's over and get everybody together and see how it went.
And we actually are going to do a prize. We didn't get it done last year. Might be a bottle of chassis.
Oh,
Who wants some chassis?
Which we are giving away next week.
Yeah.
But also,
Did
right
you
back to
ever
the
did
beginning.
you ever
episode-
email them?
Oh, we need to do that.
Gosh, dang
keep
it! guys,
forgetting.
don't
Hold
make
on,
me
I'm
do
gonna
it. Don't.
chassis.
Well, it's
Don't make
almost
me
like
do
we
it.
work for a living
Powder.
too.
Oh,
Yeah. I mean, I don't
Chassis
know
for me.
why they wouldn't want to sponsor you with tens of listeners.
Our tens of listeners.
All tens of listeners, soon to be 11 and 3
Hey,
in
but
Germany.
could you imagine your logo on a chassis bottle? How amazing that would be!
That would be cool.
I would just like to see Kyle's face with his beard that said, "My grundle's never been drier."
Nice. Hey, you know what you could do? Whenever you email them, let them know that if we do get sponsored, then we'll name this. So it'll be Chassis Presents Steven Tyler English Fantasy Football League. So we'll actually use them as the sponsor to our.
Oh,
fantasy
they could have a whole.
league.
Yes.
So
I
that
remember
might that might sweeten the deal.
100%.
Might
Yeah.
sweeten the deal.
I'm down
But-
with that.
Definitely let them know like why it's named what it is. So like, not to toot my own horn or anything like that, right? But when I did my application to be a Razer streamer, not I'm a fanboy when it comes to Razer products, but I put in there like my streams are donation channel, or the channel's a donation channel only. I don't keep any of my money. Like the money that I make, it goes either to a donation or someone says, "Hey, I want to donate to this," and then I'll just donate it to a random charity of the person's choice. But let them know, like we want to be sponsored by you guys, and we'd appreciate it, this and this and that, and just let them know why it's named what it is, and then it kind of just gives you that option or that opportunity to get that, because everybody told me it was ridiculously hard to get into Razor's stream hashtag Razer streamer thing, right? But I just put my story in there, and I got lucky enough to get chosen by it. But I would definitely tell them why. You know what I mean?
I could do it.
Ooh.
Worth a shot.
Next year when we do our draft, I think it'll happen.
That's right. So, with that, is there Doc? Thank you for being on.
Yeah.
Taking time
Yeah,
out, and
thanks
even
for
though I
having
know you're
me.
not feeling good.
Oh, no, I'm feeling better. It's just my back.
Is there anything that you want to say last, like smack talk, just anything you want to leave everyone with? Because Hughes couldn't be bothered because his daughter's birthday.
Yeah.
Happy
You know,
birthday, Bill.
I just want to say that I appreciate you guys letting me be a part of the community. It's an amazing community, and just that we are also, if you guys see in the Discord, we changed the channel name of the giveaways to Crazy Docs giveaways and Bizarre. What I'm going to be doing is anytime that there's a listener of the week, unless it's me, then that person can get a hold of me, and I have a bunch of random items and nerd stuff that we can that I want to give away and donate to the
Nice.
to the channel for free for the listener of the week. And like I said, it may not be something you want, but you know, if you have kids or whatever, it's just going to be little, you know, loot box collectible stuff and whatnot. So
And it's
I'll
free.
be posting,
It's
and it's
free.
free.
Take
Yeah.
it.
And I'm going to be posting the pictures and stuff because I have literally three. I have three of those giant moving boxes that you get, like the crates down in my basement, full of loot that I just want to give away. So yeah, there's that, and I'll leave with K-Sig's an asshole.
Oh,
I'm
not wrong.
Second.
it's not wrong.
Do I hear consent? Is there consent on the floor?
I'm gonna get a rump out of that guy. It's like my league parting words are I just happy that I will be doing better than Chof. So suck it,
That's
Chof.
true. Suck it, Troph.
Yeah.
Commish.
Parting words. Thank you for allowing me to run this again and to do all that and to take over for just one episode here. It is a lot of fun, and it's so fun to meet other people through the Discord. So I highly recommend, if you're listening to this, join the Discord. There are so many cool people in there that we laugh with. We make fun of each other. We in a fun way. We really get to know each other pretty well, and it's truly a community. And I was telling Guyver the other day, you know, thank you for what you do, and K-Sig as well, to create this community. Because you know, just because you make a Discord or have a podcast doesn't mean you actually create a community. But the amount of time and effort that you guys both put in this, and love, honestly, that you put into you know, the whole process that is this, and allowing people like me to step in and you know, do fantasy football.
It makes our job a lot easier when you do what you just did.
100%.
So thank you both, and for anyone, this is a public league, so if you go to the ESPN fantasy football site and you look up Steven Tyler English EMGNFFL, you can actually follow along week by week and see who's winning and who's losing, and of course you'll see BRob that is losing.
I was going to ask you, what does that mean up top? The EM,
the Every Man's Guide to Nerdom.
EGTN.
E. Oh, every.
I texted you.
Oh, okay. Hey, it will be changed to the story. Hey, you know, it's not my community. I'm just, you know,
I'm just fucking up your.
I'm just one that trolls and does all that. So if you are interested, you know, follow along with us. And then we also have a fantasy football that is titled correctly on the Discord channel that you can go through and you can see us smack talking each other and having fun. So even if you're not a part of the league, feel free to be a part of the community with fantasy football or just the community in general.
Yep.
So
couldn't have said it any better.
My parting words to you all are good luck to everyone involved. Thank you for agreeing to do this. Justin, seriously, thank you for doing this 2 years in a row. I know it's a lot of work. You don't have a lot of time being doctor, but we appreciate you. We really do. Kyle and I, this makes us, this is just something fun that our community can engage in, that Kyle and I don't really have to put any effort into
at all, really.
At all. Like, and it takes
that's my favorite kind of effort.
That is 100%.
Minimal. Yeah.
But seriously, thank you. I am really, really looking forward to the smack talking this year. I cannot wait, because we know it's going to be between definitely Justin and BRob. We know that's going to be in there. Hughes has some good zingers.
I'm coming for you, Doc.
And then I think Jesse's going to really just blow it away. Doc's an unknown factor too. I don't know Doc in sports stuff, so we're going to find out what Doc brings to it.
Yeah, week 3 and week 10, K-Sig.
3 and 10.
You're going down. You're going down.
Oh, you guys are in the same division then. Ooh,
Yep.
It's gonna be good.
Oh, this will be good.
It's gonna be good.
So with that, this has been Every Man's Guide to Nerddom, EGTN. Thank you, Doc. Thank you, Justin.
Thanks,
I'm
guys.
Chris.
And I'm Kyle, and wherever you guys are, please have a good evening, morning, nighttime, whatever time it is, and please be good to each other.
Nerd
See ya.
Cork, rise up.
Bye.
And we out.
It could get elevated. Nerd Cork, rise up. It could get elevated. Nerdcore used to be just a made up word. MCs shied away.